Alright guys, so we're back from locals and we went 2-2 and so yeah, like that's about it. And I'm trying to remember. Okay. So yeah, we'll go through the deck first. Or no, we'll go through our matchup first. So first we went up against Dracos and we actually took that. So that was our first round at like table 3, beat Dracos. And then we went up to table 1 actually, and then played Salads. And yeah, it was just a kid piloting Salads, rocking the $80 Pyro Phoenix Prismatic. But yeah, he kept on like trying to make board load instead of Salad comboing or leaving a counter trap. And so yeah, that was a time. Then game 3. I'm actually blanking really hard about this. I texted all of my friends who went with me, and none of them can remember who I played. I'm thinking it was a Lunalight Orcust. I just remember it all being like, it was a totally meta day, or at least archetype speaking, you know. Like an 8-year-old playing Salads isn't exactly meta defining, but yeah, it was just super meta heavy. I'm pretty sure it was Lunalight Orcust. I just remember getting sacked really hard game 1. Winning game 2 because I sacked him. Game 3 was an actual match where he beat me, and it just didn't take very long, so I don't remember much. Then game 4 was Dracos. I remember game 1 was freaking brutal because our entire hand was scale 8s. Like, I don't know how it happened. It's just the entire hand scale 8s. And then we drew into the next turn he got Draco out, then put up Monarch's Erupt. Then we drew into Harmonizing, then we drew into Harmonizing, then we drew into Harmonizing, and I ended up having to use them as walls so as to not die. And then that left me, and then next I drew Cyclone. So basically after Harmonizing was already deactivated, and I couldn't do anything, which was just terrible. But game 2 I beat him, and then game 3 he went first with Anti-Spell and 2 Dark Bribes, so we cannot get over that. And I'm realizing how hard this deck loses to Anti-Spell right now. So for the actual deck, we're still running our 1 copy of Phantasma, running the 1 copy of Arc Pen. We're running 1 Phantom just because it's better than Pendulum as like a fighter, like a beat stick. 2 copies of Pendulum Dragon, 1 copy of Chronograph. I find that more comes out kind of bricky because you normally want to search out and keep Arc Pen in your scales instead of Chronograph. And so even though Chronograph like goes in and like just goes out for Time Gazer, I just don't want more than like 1 in my deck. Then we have 2 copies of Persona. She's a bad card, but you know, we run her to facilitate Sky Iris plays with Arc Pen. I'm gonna try to drop. I'm thinking about coming Wisdom Eye just because searching Magicians and putting them in our scales isn't actually our highest priority anymore, just because Magicians are not what we want in our scales. Triple Harmonizing just because she gives us so much access to our extra deck. Double Black Fang. I might actually cut Black Fang soon because I was running him for the sake of maybe putting in Zark later on, but the more testing I did, the more I realized Zark isn't worth it. Triple Purple Poison. This card's actually like probably one of the best Magicians still. Like if we took out like Black Fang and Wisdom Eye and just kept Triple Purple Poison, we could probably do just fine. White Wing, probably one of the worst Magicians actually, just because her effect has nothing. It's literally just a drawback. Double Mirage, again facilitating Sky Iris and Odd Eyes Arc Pen plays. 1 Time Gazer, just so that Harmonizing can access a level 3 and so that Chronograph can actually resolve. 1 Archfiend Eccentric, we didn't see her today, we didn't see her today, and so yeah, like, that was kind of bad, but she's really good. Triple Ash Blossom, very standard, you know. Double Spiral Flame Strike. Today was the first time I used Spiral Flame Strike for its actual destruction effect, which is pretty neat, but yeah, nothing special, it's just a Researcher. Summoner's Art for Arc Pen, Duelist Alliance for Arc Pen, possibly Pendulum Call, and possibly actually a Pendulum Dragon, depending on how bad our situation is. Pendulum Call, Terraforming for Sky Iris, Double Sky Iris, Double Pendulum Graph, and Odd Eyes Fusion. Sky Iris is our playmaker, so we're running Terraforming to access it. Pendulum Call can get us to it harmonizing if we need it. Star Pendulum Graph is just a really good card if you're running any kind of magicians. Then Odd Eyes is just there because it's a searchable fusion spell, so it can help us make Vortex in a pinch. And then Double Cyclone. And so the reason we're actually running Double Cyclone is because my friend borrowed my cards, so we actually just reclaimed our other 2 Cyclones from Dude. And then, that's a bit of a spoiler, but after the tournament, we actually, I didn't realize this, but Infinity Chasers has Jackal King, and so I actually cracked open 2 packs off screen, just cause like, it's like, oh, what do you want? It's like Fist of the Gadgets, Infinity Chasers, Ryra, or Chaos Impact, and so Ryra is just garbage, so is Chaos Impact. Or Chaos Impact, you could get something. Theoretically, with Ryra, you could get Appaloosa. And the guy who went before me, the guy playing Dracos, actually did get Appaloosa, which was kind of insane. But I just cracked open. I got the Infinity Chasers packs and just cracked them open on the spot without thinking, because I didn't realize that I could actually, get a mythical beast. And so we might actually be playing around with these 4 cards. I briefly toyed with the idea of putting in a Witchcrafter sort of engine package, I guess, but then I realized it's a terrible idea and might only work if you're playing Endymion or something more spell heavy. But I think we could splash him in as a one-off just because control options. We can put in our Cosmic Cyclone, and then I actually just didn't look into Jurgetto too much. I just know it's generic. Same with Confronting the Sea, although I remember that being kind of bad. And then Magician's Right Hand might be useful if we go more Spellcaster heavy. But with Jackal King, we could also theoretically run Secret Village, but we have no way to search him. I don't want to turn this into an Endymion deck, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, I'm for future reference, I'm working on getting a better camera angle just so I can actually record my matches, and so we don't have another event like today where I just totally forget what actually took place. And I also probably am gonna just be more reserved with opening the packs and save them for the an opening at the end of the video. Our side deck was actually nothing special, and I totally forgot about these 2, so let's go over those right now. We're running Triple Gamma Seal, just helps us get over stuff like Appaloosa, or the first Draco player we played against got 3 Metaltrons out that were completely immune. Like, he tributed a spell, trap, and monster, so it was completely unaffected by card effects. And so the Kaiju was the only way we got rid of that, except for we actually managed to make, I think we used Arc Pen and I want to say Black Fang, Black Fang, to boost Arc Pen's attack and swing over it once, which was just a good time. But then he made Beast, and that was horrible. Okay, so yeah, Gamma Seal, just really good for getting over tricky control cards. Triple Lancia. Oh no, I remember what it was. It was not Lunalight Orcus. It was Grand Maju. You know why I remember this? Because in my side there are what are clearly 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. When I was looking through my side deck, I didn't notice these somehow. So for all 2 rounds I could side, I was running 0 Artifact Lancias because I did not realize I had it, and that was just terrible. Triple Called By just works against Orcus, works against any graveyard heavy deck. Triple Super Poly. We only have 1 Super Poly target at the moment, Starving Venom. I don't know if we'll set about getting more. It's honestly, I don't know if we will actually run Super Poly in the end, just because Starving Venom on its own is a pretty solid card, and we can hard fuse him, but Super Poly poses a greater issue just because the discard cost is really nasty in Pendulum, just because once it goes to the graveyard, you're not getting it back. So yeah, I actually don't know if we want to run Super Poly going forward. And then Triple Mind Control, I want to main deck these. Mind Control is such a good card. It always performs just the best. It's so freaking good. Every time I see this card, it saves me. It is amazing. Alright, so Triple Mind Control. For our extra deck, we're still running Code Talker. He's just better than Underclock Taker. I don't really want to swap him out for anything. I put in Land for Ischus for just possibly basic utility, making a bigger board. Boar Load, again, saves me games. Double Vortex. I'm probably going to cut Boral Furious just because I've never had an occasion where I actually want to make it. Clearwing is tricky, but it's really good against Dracos just because it negates all their effects. And then Supreme King Dragon Clearwing is actually just better Scarlight, so I think we're actually going to cut Scarlight, probably Enlightenment Paladin and Warp Gate, but the Warp Gate's the most likely one to stay in, and then we can just keep on looking for better options, because like we could put like a Black Rose or something in, but yeah, Scarlight, Enlightenment, and Boar Load aren't really doing much right now. And then I put in Dweller. I didn't have occasion to use it just because none of my opponents were graveyard focused, except for Salads, and he was always ending in a Boar Load for some reason. And so I actually Boar Loaded his Boar Load and then linked it off, which was pretty nice. But yeah, like it's a pretty solid extra deck actually, and I feel like everything's coming along pretty well. So we'll be completing our engine pretty soon. Because on Black Friday I did a load of shopping and picked up a load of packages, and so I don't know if any of them are going to show up in time for the next week's video. However, you know, like our like actual main deck is getting pretty solid, and so I'm looking into more spicy sides and getting a clear image of like the final deck that I want to build with a lot of testing on DB and stuff. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to be working on getting a new camera angle so I can actually record my matches and, you know, give y'all like a more accurate representation of what's going on. I'll probably time-lapse it just because it doesn't seem practical to show you like 40 minutes, or not even 40, it'd be like 80 minutes of just me dueling and just my hand, because, yeah, that just doesn't seem like a great idea. And then, yeah, getting more, or just not being an idiot and cracking open packs while at the store when you can get a Jackal King, which would have been so nice to get on camera. But, you know, in the meantime, it's cool, and I'll catch y'all next week.